We had an ASR 88 in the camp. Benny Blades had it. And can't be mad at him, you know. You got bills to pay, you need to eat, you know. He took it down to a pawn shop and yeah, we haven't seen it since.
I did get an ASR. I was always intrigued by the ASR after seeing, you know, its capabilities under the hands of the Beirut Productions. Another situation again where it had to go in the pawn shop, and unfortunately it came and left the family before it really got any good use out of it.
For many years, when the Beirut family was all under one roof, yeah, we were starving for sure. You know, getting little stamps from the government and stuff to feed ourselves. We made money where we could, but we definitely starved and worked on a ton of music.
One of the better things about them being in a group like that was, you know, not everybody was necessarily broke at the same time, but it also left them to deal with it themselves and bring that money to the table when it was needed. And they had that struggle to do that. When we were all broke, unfortunately it was open season at the pawn shop. But then when we were rolling in the money, it was, you know, go find whatever you can at the pawn shop too. Get back what you lost.
Money is a big influence, but it's not the only thing that drives my music. It certainly helps. It pays for the equipment, it pays for promoting, it pays for the websites, and all the advertising. It takes money.
I know people who stop because I'm not making any money, what's the point in doing this, you know? And those are the people that weren't really in love with this anyway. Taking money out of your own pocket and paying for your own projects is, oh man, it's draining.
Music, if you want to have it as a job, you got to treat it as a job. And if you think about, you know, the first job that you had, you may have liked to do one thing, but you hated working in the back in the stockroom, or you hated cleaning the floors. You know, all those sorts of things are going to move over no matter what job you're doing. And if you really plan to make a living off of it and replace it with your normal job, there's certain things that you have to do that you may not have wanted to do.
You know, you got a 9 to 5, and necessarily sometimes that 9 to 5 is not what you want to do, but it's putting food on the table.
I have a doctoral degree in audiology. I have a wife, I have a baby. I try to keep those priorities. What's the hardest part is that I know, in some sense, that to get my music out there, I'm really going to have to take a jump and sacrifice some things and be away from home and maybe cut some hours at work, which may mean less money at home for rent, food, and kids. That's been the toughest part for me is deciding, you know, when do you jump and when do you make sure your family's protected and that they're going to eat.
Would you be willing to change your entire life if an opportunity came along? Would you give up your job? Would you give up your kids and your girl and give up your family and give up everything for a shot at whatever you think you want to be? You have to ask yourself that question. If the answer is yes, then you're probably cut out for it. You're probably a killer like that. If the answer is no, or you don't feel comfortable with it, then you know what, you're probably gonna remain where you're at.
You know, recently I thought if I was truly gonna make it in music, I may have to sacrifice the benefits of having that 9 to 5 money right now. And that's a scary realization.
As you get older and like life really starts to take toll on you, you know what I'm saying? You got bills and all that shit. It's a different story. And then I'm not married, I don't got no kids, but if I did, obviously there's certain shit I would have to do to make money to feed my family.
This is all I do, so I put my all into this, and I'm trying to get to the point where this is actually my job, you know? It's my job now, but it's not paying the bills. But I want to get to that point where it's paying the bills, and it's kind of hard sometimes.
Everybody had their own things to do, everybody had their own life, but everybody was still, you know, stuck together by that common bond, and it never left, no matter what the situation was, down and out, broke, rolling in the money, whatever was going on, it didn't really matter. it was still about the music.
Because some cats, they'll stop doing music. I'm 31. They'll stop doing music at 29, you know? 30 is like the gate. 30 is like the finish line. If you haven't done it by then, you're pretty much trying to win the lottery after that point.
Once people are confronted with opposition, they'll stop and they'll turn right around, go back right where they came from, you know, or it's just not cut out for some people, and that's fine.
Driving to work, I saw 100 million zombies. In their car, late for work, asleep, sipping coffee. Yesterday, looked in the mirror and I saw me. In my car, late for work, asleep, sipping coffee. I'm at the edge. My mind's a sledgehammer that's been pinned up for 29 years. Just want to talk to him. Like put your hands in the air, just want to hum to him and make it all disappear. I see the wheels spinning. I see the time slipping. I see the hunger in him. I see the swagger in him. Yo, these just words, but these'll put a dagger in them. If these just words, then how can you get so mad at them? It's like something you never get unless you saw it. It's like that movie where he couldn't get that chain off, and so he sawed it right above his ankle and bled to death trying to run from it from every angle. A piece of me can never run from this. It's 12-something, work in the morning, feeling half awake. Stayed up, making beats, all just for this passion's sake. I missed her while she's awake, all just for this music shit, which if I relied on, couldn't even pay my rent. So I stick to 9 to 5s and stresses and paychecks, you know, that non-risk that harnesses the talents. I go to sleep next to her and dream about balance when the alarm hits.